I'm Gary the Unicorn, and you're listening to In Conversation With, the podcast that goes behind the scenes of the public broadcaster. And today, I'm speaking with Chris Irwin, an executive producer for CBC Sports, which is a very cool job and a big hooray for Chris. Chris and his team are preparing for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, and I wanted to talk to him about how they're planning to create content for the young people. So it's very simple. I'm going to ask 5 questions in about 5 minutes, and so you have to stay tuned to find out which of the new Olympic or Paralympic sports Chris thinks will be the most challenging to show this summer.
And those things are new to us, so I'm sure we can figure it out, and in the next few months we'll be ready.
And we're off. Happy listening! Hi, Chris. It's super duper that you are taking the time to talk with me today about sports and about the stories that young people will find especially cool.
It's exciting to be here.
I'm so glad. Okay, here we go. Can you tell me a bit about how your team knows which stories and things that young people will find interesting? Because I'd like to know which sport gets the most yays and which one gets the more nays.
We want to avoid all the nays.
Yeah, we do.
We have a lot of research into what people love to watch during the Olympics, but when it comes to attracting a much younger audience, it can be really tricky. The IOC, the International Olympic Committee, they're trying to attract that next generation too, and you'll see skateboarding and surfing this summer for that reason.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, I think people are expecting it to be cool, and we love that. They know how to watch diving and beach volleyball and athletics, and we have to make those sports equally interesting for kids so they'll enjoy the entire Olympics. But we hope skateboarding and youth-oriented events will be a big winner too, so it's yay.
I got another question. Okay, in January, the Youth Olympic Games were in Switzerland, and I wish I was there because I've heard their chocolate is awesome. So what are you most proud of working on these games?
Well, for the whole team, I know the thing they were most proud of was the style of coverage for this winter. Many of the sports were traditional, so you would have the expected CBC Radio Canada coverage. But what we decided to do this time around is put the sports on the platforms or on the devices that kids are actually using. So we did it real-time digitally and socially, and we had our producers on site creating content for the Facebook feed, the Twitter feed, for CBC Sports Insta feed, and the reaction was really positive. So I think everyone felt that you're always told fish where the fish are. Well, we know the younger fish are on different devices, and so we created content specifically for them to see if we could impress that younger audience.
Can you share with me a time where your team had to roll up their sleeves and work together to find a solution to a challenge?
Well, for the last couple of Olympics, we've learned a lot about creating content for a younger age group, but we learned it from the experts. CBC has a department that does just that, and you guys do it best. The people that hired you, Gary, they make great kids content. And we asked them what we could do, and they said, why don't you take a puppet to Pyeongchang? And we said, a puppet? Can't we take a unicorn?
Hey, yeah, that was me.
Yeah, so CBC Kids worked with us to complete some different sports-focused series, and we're trying to find another ticket to Tokyo to take you, or maybe it's one of your other friends.
That's very exciting. The Tokyo 2020, that's this summer, isn't it? Yeah,
yes.
and it's a big hooray for that. So what can the young people expect when they're watching CBC?
They can expect more of everything. More sports. Let's start with that. And more Canadian teams. We could have up to 9 teams make their way to the Olympics this year for Canada. And when we have that, we get great storytelling. We know that in 2010, there were no iPads, no tablets. Nobody had a smartphone in their hand to watch the Olympics. So we're trying to make sure that now we have content for all of those places that kids like to watch and that people like to watch. So we have square content and vertical content, and we have big content and little content and all this.
Do you have triangle content?
We won't yet, but we might by 2022 if it's required. We'll do whatever content Canadians need to enjoy the Olympics. So we have to be ready to give them content that they're going to love.
To wrap this up, I have one last question to get us in the spirit of the games. So which new Olympic or Paralympic sport will be the most challenging to show people this summer? And if you could tell us why.
Anytime you do something for the first time or you do something new, it's a challenge. And the Olympics added these new sports, sport climbing and rock wall climbing is what you might think of it as. Yeah. And surfing and skateboarding. And so when you think of how to cover something, it's really difficult. We know how to cover diving. You've seen that we can cover swimming and track and field. But the first time we do something is always a challenge. And so this time we're trying to figure out how to show a skateboard freestyle final and a surfing small wave final. And those things are new to us. So I'm sure we can figure it out. And in the next few months, we'll be ready to give you the best angles and the best replays and to give you the best coverage of sport like you've never seen before. And that's our biggest challenge for the Olympics. And on the Paralympics, it's about helping everybody understand the differences, because those sports have a number of different competitors, all with different classifications of abilities, and they're all in one final. So the medals are factored. They do some math to figure out exactly which athlete wins the gold medal. And we work with the Canadian Paralympic Committee to make sure that we know exactly how to tell that story and that we can respect the greatness in all those athletes, because when we get it right, it's great.
I'm really proud that I got a chance to sit here and talk with you, Chris. It was very awesome, and thank you for all your thoughts, and the best of luck at the Olympic Games this year.
Thank you.